After it's been a half a year since we've been out of theaters, I finally got to return to the theaters today and I just saw the New Mutants. But is this final installment of the X-Men franchise for 20th Century Studios an exciting experience? Or is it just another big disappointment like Dark Phoenix was last year? Find out right now in this spoiler-free review. Big Days! Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. Greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Doyle, better known to y'all as the Big D. And this time around, I bring to you a review of the long overdue horror flick in the superhero genre flick, The New Mutants, released by 20th Century Studios in association with Marvel. Now, this is the 13th and final overall X-Men film, and the final by the 20th Century Studios, formerly 20th Century Fox. Now that Marvel Studios has been reporting that they are going to be blending into the MCU, which reminds me, I'm going to give a shout out to someone who, well, might be busy one year. I just subbed to this guy, the Cosmic Wonder. This guy's got all the info on the MCU, and I'm pretty happy that I subbed to him. But anyway, the film's directed by Josh Boone, who was best known for directing The Fault in Our Stars a few years ago, which was also from the same studio. From a screenplay that he co-wrote. Film stars Maisie Williams, Anya Taylor-Joy, Charlie Heaton, Alice Braga, Blue Hunt, and Henry Zega. Now, it follows a group of young mutants held in a secret facility, fight to save themselves. Now then, I'm going to tell you, while I liked Brightburn, which came out last year, now, unlike that movie, this got a PG-13 rating. Now, at first, I thought this was already getting much hate. However, I have learned it's gotten a mixed response, so it may be 31% on the tomato meter, which is completely understandable, folks. But anyway, let me see. Yeah, this was supposed to be the start of a new trilogy, but ever since Disney bought out Fox, we may not get to see anymore. But anyway, and this film had been delayed way too long. This was originally supposed to come to us a couple of years ago. But after reshooting so much, well... Anyway, some people have called this middling, so-so, and perfectly fine. Well, from what I've seen of this movie, considering it's only a mere 94 minutes, which this is the shortest of any other film of the X-Men franchise to date. Excuse me. But anyway, now, the story I'm going to say is pretty good in some ways. I mean, our central character is Danielle Moonstar, or Danny for short, a young Cheyenne Native American. She escapes the destruction of her reservation during a tornado in the beginning. And, well, after all this time, she wakes up in an abandoned hospital. The person who runs this is Cecilia Reyes. That's Alice Braga's character. She's a mentor to the group of these new mutants and a medical doctor who can generate protective fields around herself. Yeah, now this was kind of good in ways. Now, let me see. Now, the youngest Moonstar, she can create illusions based on the fears and desires of other people. Now, these characters have actually had various types of fears and what have you. And now, Dr. Rice has, well, 4 others there, after they have all suffered a tragedy. First up is Samuel Guthrie. He brought down a whole mine on his father and co-workers. Roberto da Costa, who was now there because he burned his girlfriend, Rain Sinclair, who escaped her religiously strict village after being branded. Ouch. And Ilyana Rasputin, who was haunted by her past in child slavery, as well as otherworldly beings called the Smile Men. Now, actually, I've heard of the character of Ilyana Rasputin. Now, if you're an X-Men fanatic and what have you, you may know that that name is familiar to another X-Men. She's in the comics. Ilyana Rasputin is the sister to Peter Rasputin, alias Colossus, which that was pretty cool. But anyway, now Rain can transform into a wolf and kind of really make her look like a sort of a close to beastly looking character. Not quite like Beast was in the recent X-Men movies, but still pretty good though in ways. Now as for Ilyana, she has sorcery powers. Ah yes, and yes, she has a Russian accent, so apparently, yeah. And I like her little puppet dragon companion named Lockheed. Yeah, that's really something. And she can also manifest the soul sword and use teleportation discs to travel. Now, Sam can propel himself into the air and is invulnerable while doing so. And as for Bobby, he can manipulate solar energy. Really something. But now back to the movie. I want to say that while despite it has a few misses and what have you, some that I wasn't quite expecting, like, oh well, I shouldn't give any of the details because that's spoiling it. But I'm gonna tell you, I feel like some critics may have come down hard, but some I still say I've read are mixed to average and why, so that's fair enough. Now, I can tell you this that let's see. Oh yeah, let me see. Yeah, the Essex Corporation is actually mentioned this in the comics. That's actually the company that is run by Nathaniel Essex, alias Mr. Sinister. Yes, who that's a character I think we should see in an upcoming Marvel movie, don't you think? But anyway, that's only just one heads up on that. Doesn't actually count as a spoiler. That's just a slight heads up and what have you. But I'm gonna tell you, this was kind of like watching I don't know, like a X-Men meets One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest or something like that. Well, that's from my point of view, but even so, it does have a few misses and what have you, but and some of it, and while it's horror and why it does kind of shock you a little bit in ways because it has some frightening or scary images and what have you. But it didn't quite really scare me that much until, well, except for some things. But hey, I'm cool with that, you know. Well, but anyway, should I recommend the New Mutants? I'm gonna say sure, go ahead. Give it one try while you still can. But if you're not, just wait for it to come to DVD or Blu-ray. I still think you should give this a shot. I was lucky to have gotten a chance to see this. It's good to be back in theaters in my area after it's been a half a year, so now I'll get to see more if we can hope for the best that y'all continue to abide by the rules of, well, you know, wear a mask, wash your hands good, etc., etc., etc. After all, my theaters have hand sanitizing stations, which is good. But enough said. So, the New Mutants, I think, is worth giving a shot. I kind of liked it in ways, just for different reasons over the other X-Men movies. It's not really the best X-Men movie, but still, it's not too bad. Anyway, my score on Letterboxd, I'm giving the New Mutants 4 stars. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give it, let me see. I'll give it an 8. So this would be worth checking out while you still can see it. But anyway, now rest assured I will review Tenet when it comes around. I don't know when I'll go see it. I'm not sure if I'm going next weekend or the weekend after. Just depends if my another dear from not too far from me, well, maybe not factually not too far from, well, you get the idea, opens. We'll see. But for now, that's going to do it for my review of the New Mutants. You should check it out. But what did you think of the New Mutants? Please feel free to tell me in the comment section below. Like this video if you please. Subscribe to my channel as well and be a part of the Big D Nation. Join me again next time when I bring to you my ranking of Disney Pixar films. Thanks for watching. Now, if you like this, you can see these. You can revisit this sometime, but maybe not just yet. I'm going to leave it off, but in the meantime, go to the upper left-hand corner for my X-Men franchise reviews. Now, don't worry. I've already got plans to review the Wolverines and Deadpool movies next month in Super September, alright? But in the meantime, just look for all the other X-Men movies in this playlist. If you want more, go to the upper, or if you want something darker, go to the upper right-hand corner for my small but pretty good playlist of Darkman, where I reviewed Darkman for its 30th anniversary last week, along with the 2 direct-to-video sequels in one video. And if you want to step away from superheroes or darkness, go to the bottom left-hand corner and see my recent review of the original animated Mulan. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. Thanks again for watching. Until next time, on the Big D saying, see ya!